Hello, legendary people. Welcome back. Today I'm going to check out this behind the scenes with Superman. I've been working on my edit of Superman, but had a little bit of copyright issues, so still trying to get that out. So let's look at the making of and see what they got going with this. See if there's anything new that I haven't seen, but I hope you're having a good week. Let's check this out.
Do an interview. I could fill you in on all the behind the scenes.
With my clean suit.
Has done an incredible
Just fought a bunch of people,
job
but his suit was
designing this
perfectly
suit
clean
from
for that
scratch.
scene.
The first time I saw a glimpse in the monitor, after we had shot something, I saw a little bit of playback of the suit, of me in the suit on camera. I thought, yeah, that looks pretty freaking cool. And then just today, when we did the publicity photo shoot, I think that was the first time that I said, like, oh, this is yeah, I mean, it's
the top, the invulnerable.
That guy's haircut was horrible.
Power,
Nathan Fillion, you could have done better, buddy.
When you want to, what is the highest, most upper echelon you can think of? That's Superman, and also he's probably going to be on your side unless you're.
The cape was really good.
Evil, right? So you can always count on
the suit. Looked like pajamas.
You'd think if everything's going terribly wrong, if only Superman were here.
One of the biggest inspirations for this film, especially from a visual perspective, but also tonal perspective, is Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's All-Star Superman. So taking the visual language of that graphic novel, but then adding in an element of, I guess, realism of, you know, of the handheld camera that I use to kind of keep the characters more grounded and feeling as if it's a part of our real world within this incredibly big and colorful and bright environment. And then also having some of the grit of the 70s
he did too
movies,
much.
That I love. And that
James Gunn did way too much in this movie.
To keep some elements of that, I think it was mostly a combination of
he should have slowed down and not had imps in this guy.
Was that it was a James Gunn script and his style of writing, you can kind of instantly imagine what this film becomes. Having seen a lot of his work and loved it, reading the script, I was like, oh, fantastic. It's James Gunn's take on a Superman story and world and all these exciting characters and ideas that he's focused in on from the comics. So that's what was thrilling about it.
Lois Lane is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who is a star reporter at the Daily Planet.
Amy Adams.
I love that she's
I'm a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist.
In her life, she's relentless about her pursuit of the truth. She's relentless about the things that she cares about. She's passionate. I was always aware of Lois Lane. I grew up on the Chris Reeve Superman with Margot Kidder, and I just thought she was amazing and so smart and funny and sharp, and it still kind of feels like a dream. I can't believe
she sounds a little bit like her still.
Embodying these iconic characters. And the response from the outside has been so amazing. It's just, it's feels like it's multiplied the excitement just getting to talk to people on the outside about what these characters mean to them.
The scene we screen tested with was a really great way to start because it also established that the heart of the movie is in the characters and their relationships. And while there's going to be some banging action, the core of it is about people and their ideas and their ideals.
James just has that Midas touch, I think. Sort of like he
Jimmy Olsen, the ladies' man.
Of what these movies are. Like everything that you want out of a superhero movie is there. I mean, you have like the just like the epic world building and a real original kind of take on all of that. But then there's also
those pants. She needs to have some longer
very
pants.
Heartfelt, like human element to it.
Those shoes were so silly in that movie.
There's just a lot of like comedy, and he cares so deeply about the characters.
There was too much comedy
in this movie.
I'm not gonna lie, too much.
This one especially, seen as this is sort of like we're originating a lot of characters here and meeting them for the first time.
You know, that was one of the things that I think James has really nailed in this script is Lex, you know, is the bad guy for the story, but there's also a lot of things in his character and in his ideas and persona that maybe are right and aren't initially too crazy of an idea. So as misguided as he might be, has his moral perspective and judgment off, he kind of believes in his soul that he's doing the best thing for humanity and he can protect them, and that these, you know, meta-humans
the best thing for humanity is shove people in boxes that you don't agree with.
I think that
Or that
plays
said
to quite a
something
pure
bad about you.
sense of where he's starting out from.
Sounds
Hopefully
about
it doesn't
right.
play it to like a caricature. We'll see.
I think what really jumps off the page for me is that we're already here. We're already in a world that knows about Superman. It's not our
Yeah, they shouldn't have
world,
brought in the
which is
Justice
something
Gang.
we've been
They should have
sold many
slowly
times,
brought
which is
them in,
what would happen if it were
since
if
they were
Superman were
redoing
real
the
and
story.
came to our world. But this is more so
You didn't have to
what
redo
if
an
we
origin story,
existed
but
in his world, that comic book world where interdimensional beings are a fact of life. Everybody gets it. There's aliens, and we're not the only
everybody
ones
gets
around
it.
here.
There's just an imp. It's a normal
Bank
Tuesday.
robbers are themed, you know, like the Animal Gang, and they all wear different. Like that's the kind of comic book stuff. Giant robots. This is the stuff I was sold when I was reading comic books as a kid, and this is the world that James is
Bring back Firefly.
letting us live in for a moment, which I think is very fresh and very different.
I was very afraid about finding the right Superman, and luckily I saw David reading on the first day, and I was like, "Holy God, that's amazing!" And I think that you see him in that scene in the movie, and you realize this guy's just a fantastic actor, and he also just happens to look and act and sound a lot like Superman.
To
He
have
was a good
director
Superman. The script
who
didn't
is so known for spectacle,
make him a good Superman.
and for heart as
Sort of
well.
like Rey
I think
in Star
he has
Wars.
a great simplicity.
They should have
to
done a
his-
side
to the
story
heart
with
of his
her.
films. To
They
realize
should have
that
had
he
Luke
also is
train
interested
Rey,
in incredibly
Luke Skywalker
complex
die when he
dialogue.
killed
There was nothing
Palpatine,
that was off
and
the
then have
table.
her do
There was
her own
nothing that was
story.
not of interest to him.
This is probably the best set that I've ever been on. And it's because the magic is James. He not only wrote the material, he knows it intimately.
He did
he's
good on
directing
Guardians.
this film, but he also does create an environment where there's just total freedom. And freedom can be scary because if you have all that freedom and you don't have anything to access, then you feel like a failure. But you have James, who together helps you find new things that you couldn't anticipate. He's a magician.
James Gunn's set is infusing a movie with love and hope. He did a deep dive on all of us, and he brought together this group of people who are just excited to be here and happy to be here every day. And he
Yeah, it'd be fun to
loves
work on something like
these
that.
universes.
Yes.
He loves these characters, and that kind of energy comes from the top. And so it's just been a blast.
We're all having the best time.
That's who I
filming
thought
this
that
movie.
guy
There's
was.
a camaraderie that you really don't get
Yep.
very often, and especially on big things where a lot of that stuff just gets lost in the weeds. James prioritizes it. He makes sure that everyone is tapping into that kind of heart that is in the script, that's in the movie, and you can feel it. You can feel it that everyone is kind of pitching in.
Yeah, I knew that was the
to
guy from Barry.
bring this wonderful energy.
That was on HBO.
Costumes, color, music. He's got everything.
The
built
music
up.
was bad.
He's got it all ordered up in his mind. He knows what's happening. So also you're just kind of also trying to play.
I think
catch up
DC
with him.
couldn't afford some good music for this.
He's got a lot going on. That guy. He knows what he's doing. That's the thing. That's what's great about working with James.
I said to David, you don't need my blessing, but you have it. Like, go ahead, do your thing. We root for people, right? We're in the business of building people up and helping
Yeah, I think
people
he's
and
a
giving more than we take.
news
So
reporter.
we're thrilled for
Christopher
him.
Reeve's
He's a
son.
Juilliard-trained actor, which sits well with us as the children of a Juilliard-trained actor who made his name as Superman. We're very happy for everyone who's on this Superman journey.
I can just say that I'm excited for it, and I've got to read the script. I've got to be on set and see a small part of the movie. And from everything that I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is a movie that I would love to go to the cinema and see. So hopefully other people do too.
I think we're making some really cool stuff that's going to be worth waiting for and worth getting hyped
Yeah, it had
about
some good
and worth
visuals.
seeing on a big screen.
Okay. Well, that was a deep dive into Superman, the making of. Let me know what you thought about the movie down below. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a good week, and we will see you in the next video.